What's up, dudes? Hold fast here, bringing you another quick YouTube pro tip tutorial. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to create your own YouTube thumbnail. Basically, what you need to do first of all is find a photo or picture editing software like Photoshop, or online you can go to Pixlr, which is pixlr.com, and it's basically a program much similar to this, but all online and very simple to use. So find your program that you want to use, and it's basically the same from there, same tools. So you want to click the new button, and the size that we're going to make is actually similar to this, 1280 by 720. Basically that's 720p resolution, but that's good enough for a thumbnail. Resolution of 72 is perfect for digital, and we'll leave everything else the same. So there we go. Now we just want to start a new layer on top of our background. And the first thing we're going to do is put in a background color. So here you can do one of two things. You can either throw in an image, screenshot that you have on your own. So like this, I can just click and drag this into here, and then just resize it to fit. And then hit enter. And now we have a simple YouTube background which we can kind of work with from here. One thing I like to do to the background sometimes is do a little bit blur, basically kind of leave it off in the background. So a few blurs that I like to use: radial blur, you can use Gaussian blur, or anything else you want. Just play with the settings, very simple to use. This is just kind of a simple thing I like to use sometimes. Turn the amount down to 1 and hit OK. It kind of spins it off and leaves the center fairly untouched. Leaves the sides kind of blurred. Leaves a nice little background to our text. So we'll start a new layer, add some text. We'll write Minecraft, and we'll just change that text. And you can make sure you guys have a nice selection of fonts that you want to use before you kind of start doing all this stuff. You want to have a good selection of fonts. If you don't, then you're kind of just going to be using the same stuff over and over and over again. So you can see I have quite a few here to choose from. So just kind of make sure you got what you like, so that it doesn't look like the same thing every single time. So just choose one that kind of floats your boat however you like. Ooh, that's not the one I want. Let's go with Bada Boom. This is kind of a font that I guess a lot of people online use. So if this is what you're into, then that's good. This is actually the font that Yogscast uses, if you're interested to know that. Then we're going to add a little bit of detail to this. So you're going to have to double click on that text layer over on the right here, and very simple, just click drop shadow, kind of make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more distance there, kind of lessens the blow a little bit. I like to add a stroke, which basically just creates, I'll show you guys, creates a line on the outside of each word, or each letter, sorry. Not too big, maybe about 5. 5 is a nice little detail there. And other than that, you don't need to do a whole lot with the Minecraft there. Over here we'll write thumbnail tutorial. And of course, let me just change this font, because I like to use my own font. And the font that I use, if you're interested, on my channel is American Captain, or Captain America. So we'll just throw that right there. You don't want to go too low. A quick another tip: you don't want to go too low, because when thumbnails are on your video, down here in the bottom right will show the time sometimes, and sometimes it'll show up in the bottom left. So you don't want to go too low. Staying in the middle usually works pretty well. With this one, we're going to do the same thing. Double click on the layer, add that same shadow, add same stroke, but we're going to change the interior color of the letters. So I'm going to click this gradient overlay button, which adds, as you can see, a gradient which goes from black to white. If you select this thingy right here, so bring up a list of a few different gradients, and you can choose from any of those options that you see, rainbows and other things. The one that I like to use is to start off with black and white, click the light color, and choose a color of your liking. So we'll choose the red, one of the reds in the, choose a light red in the lighthouse, and with the black we'll go with maybe a nice, well, that doesn't seem to work. Maybe the blue there. See, it's a little too dark. You gotta make sure you don't go too crazy with the darks, because then you won't be able to see a lot of your image, or a lot of your words. Another thing we could do is change smoothness, which just kind of messes up with the way that it meshes together. We'll change this color a little bit. I don't like to go with the same colors all the time. Let's just change it a little dark like that. All it takes is a little bit of messing around. You just got to play with it to get what you like. So we'll leave that. Sometimes you can change the opacity here by making color layer darker, or sorry, see-through. And then to change the opacity of the whole thing, click up here, opacity here, and you can make it invisible or barely there or whatever. So a little bit of opacity never hurts. You got to remember that you're going to be seeing this at a small size. So the bigger, the brighter, the better is what I always like to say. So from there, there's not a whole lot more that you really need to do. As long as you get your main message across, it's fairly simple to do. Now I'm going to show you guys another one. So we'll just go to new, start a new one like that. Another thing that you can do, actually we don't need to do a new one. Another thing that you can do, if you don't have an image to go in your background, simply click right here. This little fill tool, the paint bucket tool, you can select gradient as well. Select that gradient button, come up here and choose the colors you wish to have. So let's go with a nice green. I love Monster Green is one of my favorites. So let's do it like that. Click OK. And from here you can select a few different options, but just keep with linear gradient. And all you'll need to do is come down here, start a new layer right here. Simply click, drag like that, and there's your gradient from light to dark. Control Z. If you want it to go the other way, start it down here. I'll go from dark to light. It's very, very simple, very easy to do. You can also go straight up and down. Short will make it one side really short, so you can do beep. You can go halfway. Let's go right down the half. There you go. Or you can go like that. Very simple, very basic. You can also do a radial one. Click this button and it'll just go from the middle out. Very easy like that. Or big. Like that. And let's start it from the middle and go straight up. Very cool. Very simple to do. Very easy. And you can change those colors very simply, guys, just by clicking here. Change the colors. Let's go with that one. And we'll go same thing, straight up like that. Boom. Pretty bright, pretty fancy, very eye-catching, and very nice. Other than that, guys, there's not a whole lot more that you really need to play with. Once you kind of figure out some of the settings for yourself, you can change a lot. You can do quite a bit once you kind of figure out what you're doing. But until then, just keep playing around with different settings and you'll find out what really works. This is a very simple way to do it. Again, if you have images, you can just paste them in. You can do whatever you need to do there. But once again, the size that you need to do, 1280 by 720 with a 72 resolution, and you should be all set for nice, beautiful thumbnails. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped you guys out quite a bit. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it down below, and I'll be sure to answer them.